I recently have been retelling a story about I was working in the gas station and this woman came in and she's crying and she's saying, she's very emotional and she had to go to work and she works with a bunch of men and they just didn't understand and she's grieving her mama and and she just needed to cry and not have people make jokes and try to make her happy. She needed just somebody to just let her be sad. And then she didn't know how she was going to continue to keep dealing with this grief because it was literally ruling her life and sneaking up on her during the day. And she's pouring this out on, other customers, and she's pouring it out onto, the employees. Now we're all gathered around her. It was this big thing. And I kind of stopped everything and I said, you have to plan your grief. And she said, what do you mean plan your grief? And I said, well, here's the thing. I lost my daughter less than a year ago. And I somehow know that I can't allow that grief to control my life. And I kept telling everybody that I thought I had like a healthy grasp on it. And I still do. And I think that almost a year later, I do still have a healthy grasp on it. And that's because I've allowed myself time. When there is time allowed to feel it, it's not going to go away. You're not going to push it down and ignore it. It's going to be there. I'm guessing for the rest of my life. Even though I feel God carrying me through it, I know He's there. But that's where grieving with God comes in. The feelings are going to be there. And God will sit next to you and He will feel them with you. And it's so much better than when a girlfriend comes and sits with you or to grieve even with your spouse who's going through the same thing. When you know that God is accompanying you. Sorry. I guess it just kind of snuck up on me, didn't it? I'm guessing that this is going to bring a lot of healing for myself. Thank you for being here with me. So as I was saying, when my daughter first passed, I would spend every single morning, which I do anyway, like my Jesus time, my me time, my everything has always been my bath in the morning. Yes, I take baths every single day. And that is where I spend my time with Jesus. That's where I grieve. So I would spend my Jesus time with Jesus, but grieving with Jesus, asking Him to help me understand, asking Him for forgiveness, telling Him how much I still love Him and that I don't know how I still love Him. I love Him so much. I love Him so much. And that's how I know I love Him. Because my daughter is gone. And I still love him so much. So taking the time to grieve enabled me to feel it, express it, and then mind over matter the whole thing and say, okay, it's time to move on with our day. And I did that. And I no longer spend every bath session grieving for her. I got a job and I got a little distracted, and that helped. It helped a lot. But the fact of the matter is, I can feel and I know, and I stay conscious of when I feel it building up on me, when my behavior, my emotions are not in alignment with God, then I'm assuming that that is because I haven't taken my time to grieve. And so I will say to myself, okay, well, you've got this window here. Do it. And I'll pull out her videos. I'll pull out pictures. I will find ways to dig up memories. And I'll focus on them. And I will have a good cry. And I will grieve. And I will tell her how much I love her. And then I clean it up. And I move on with my day. What I know for a fact is that if God was not with me, if God was not carrying me through each and every single day, from the moment she got sick to 8 months later when she passed, to now a year later of her being gone, my only child, who was forever 31, she suffered a great deal with acute myeloid leukemia. And I may never understand how or why this happened. But I know that I couldn't have done it without God.